Welcome to another edition of the Dementia Care Partner Talk Show. Now, here's dementia care expert Teepa Snow and your host, Greg Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the Dementia Care Partners podcast. I'm your host, Greg Phelps, along with dementia care expert Teepa Snow. And in one of our earlier podcasts, I welcomed you back from your travels. I know the stated purpose of your visits is to educate, but having known you for a couple of years, I know that you learn as much, if not more, than you educate. So, was there anything out there that gave you an aha moment? And maybe you can tell us where you were.
I was in Malaysia and I was doing a program for families and professionals. And at the end, a woman in full, what is it called? Where a woman who's Muslim is covered everywhere. What's that
I,
garment called?
I think it's called, there's a burqa, and
The
I'm
a
not sure
burqa.
of the
Yeah,
different
she
ones.
wore the
Yeah.
whole burqa. Yeah, because it wasn't just so she was really got she was all in black and she came up and she said, I need your help. Which for her to approach me, like, that's a big deal. And she started crying. So, the first thing we did is hug. I mean, we did a very deep pressure hug. And I said, sounds like you're really in a bad space. And she said, yes. And then she revealed she has a really strong Muslim faith, but she was losing her faith in God. She was really losing her faith in her God because her mother moved in with she and her husband and her children, and her husband divorced her because he couldn't stand being with her mother anymore. And he got that she needed to care for her mother because that's the Muslim law. That's the law of Allah, is that you care for your parent. He was out. He's out. So now she's in an apartment with 3 children, one of them quite young, the rest young, and her mother. Now, here's the thing, as she described her mother has Lewy body dementia. She has Lewy body dementia. But the rule in Islam, you respect, you honor your mother. And she couldn't honor her mother anymore because her mother's up all night screaming and yelling at her, accusing her of doing things. And she, unfortunately, wasn't trained in anything to do with dementia, and so would do things that would aggravate the situation. And her children are watching this. And at some point, she looks at the drawings they're making. And the drawings are, Grandma is a vampire bat. Mom, I don't like Mom being so mean. She's mean all the time, and she didn't used to be like this. And the drawings are like, yikes. And my learning was, wow, this is a really deep pain, because now she can't believe in God. She's not part of community. She can't be away from the apartment for more than a short window of time. Her mom is up all night. She has to be up, but she's trying to care for her children in the day. The children are being impacted. So what I've always known, and it's an intergenerational problem, I saw a whole new, it's an interfaith, it's an intergenerational, it's an intercontinental issue, because she's all alone. She was all alone.
So can we pause and tell people what
Yeah.
Lewy body is? Because some of our listeners might be tuning in for the first time.
Might be just
They
tuning
don't
in.
understand the complications with it.
Yeah, so Lewy body is one of these very odd dementias that don't start with memory problems. There's no problem with memory. What there is a huge problem with nighttime restlessness and up all night, and delusional thinking and hallucinations, visual hallucinations of seeing people and things and children, and being really worried and feeling paranoid and falling and then needing guidance and supervision. And then at other times being perfectly reasonable and okay. And it's unpredictable. And it's only as the disease progresses that we start to appreciate, oh, this is a dementia, because up till then, people think it's a psychiatric illness. And it's totally not predictable when it's going to activate and when it isn't. And without the right training to support, we make it so much worse. And medications that might be considered can be super dangerous or cause all kinds of harm in a variety of ways. And to imagine not knowing any of that, and to not only have that person in your life, but 3 small children, and not to be able to turn anywhere because there's such stigma about this. And fortunately, we have a mentor in Malaysia who was connected to this woman. And what we were able to do is have a conversation, a 3-way conversation and follow up. Then I actually went to where she stays in the apartment. And we made a second connection, and now she has a connection. And here's the cool part, Greg. Our goal is to start using the nonprofit that our mentor has, excuse me, to consider coming up with a grant that could be offered through the Muslim faith-based community to support people like this woman and her family.
That's a real tough story, but unfortunately, it's common.
Oh,
Maybe not with the Lewy body, but it's even common a bit in North America where we tend to sort of hide people away, or it can disrupt families entirely.
yeah.
So if you don't have a plan going in, I was going to say something, but that's the wrong word. That might be swearing. You're kind of euchred.
Yeah, you're really stuck. You're not going to have a plan. And then you get stuck in it. And then it's embarrassing to even, how did you eat? And the only reason she came to this talk that I did is her relationship with our mentor. She came and she hid until the very end, except she engaged with her partner. So she had two relationships that formed, actually three. But she had to make the choice to step away and come. And she couldn't stay the whole time, but she stayed. She came in a little late. But boy, what a difference it made. So for me, of the whole, all the trips, I mean, there were so many things that I learned, but I really learned what a difference friends can make when you make friends.
Teepa, now does she communicate in English? Are you able to help her on a continuing basis with Zoom, or is there a language barrier where you have to deal with a middle person?
Yeah, so more than she has English, the problem is there's a cultural barrier. I'm not really familiar with that Muslim faith in so the level I would need to be, but that's where our mentor, who is Muslim herself and is caring for her mother herself, she can be the intermediary. So we built a community, a global community that we can start to build and address some of these issues when nobody else is doing it. And we're there for people, whether they have funds, whether they don't have funds. We have to have enough funds to operate, but we also believe the value of outreach and communicating. And it's not just for the woman herself, it's for her children, because they're the next generation, and
Teepa,
for her
thank you
mom.
very much.
You're
Yeah, thank
welcome,
you very
Greg.
much. You've been listening to the Dementia Care Partners podcast. For more information on any of our topics, go to teepasnow.com.
Hi, I'm Teepa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching, and if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out, and you might want to visit our website, www.teepasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.